I don't think you boys realize the level of free game I'm about to drop on you in this video. I'm scared, bro. Like, I'm actually scared to give this knowledge away because it is good, man. It's really good. Because not only am I going to show you or teach you exactly what to say in any given situation with a woman, but I'm going to show you how to have the confidence when you do it as well. And they both go together. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot have the line without the sheer veracity and confidence and just determination to back it up, right? And I'm going to teach you both. But before we do that, and I know you're excited right now, I know you want to jump straight into this knowledge, this wisdom, right? It's exciting, but please do me a favor, right? If you have not watched this video up here, right? I did a video on the key and importance of self-love, right? I know it sounds super lame, like, bro, just teach me how to get the girls, bro. Forget about self-love. Just teach me how to get more gorgeous 10 out of 10 women in my life, right? We'll get there. We'll get there. This video, as far as I can tell, it isn't going anywhere, right? But do yourself a favor. Go watch the video before you watch this one. That will really give you a great grounding so that when you apply this knowledge that I'm about to share, it's just going to be 10 out of 10. It'll be great. So trust me, watch that video, come right back. I'll be here for you. Okay. So let me first teach you about the philosophy of why this information works so damn well. Because in order to understand how to apply this, you need to understand why this should be applied in the first place. This channel, in case you don't know, or in case you haven't subscribed, what are you doing, bro? Subscribe to the channel right now. But in case you didn't know, this channel is called The Game of Life. And the reason I named this channel The Game of Life is simply to remind myself that life is a game, right? This beautiful, scary, exciting, anxious life that we've all been gifted, it's a one-time event as far as we know, right? It's almost as though you have to look at life as though it's a video game and you've been blessed enough to have the opportunity to play this game. And so you should play this game full out. You should not leave this game of life with a rock or a stone unturned, without taking every chance that you could have taken, without fulfilling every goal and desire and dream that you know deep down you are fully capable of achieving. And all in all, because this is a game, honestly, we shouldn't take it as seriously as we do, because everybody's ending is the same, no matter whether you were the president, whether you were a garbage man, it doesn't matter. Every regret you have, every dream and aspiration you have, as nihilistic as this sounds, that's why they call me Nile, by the way. Dad joke of the day, just for you. But life ends the same way for all of us, in the graveyard, right? And so at the end of the day, you should really live this life the way you want to live it, and without regrets. And that means sometimes not taking it as seriously as you probably are taking it. Because let's be honest, bro, you probably take women a little bit more seriously than you should. You probably take relationships or even approaching women way too seriously. You consider this to be a life or death event, something that is so scary that, oh my word, I'll never, like, you see the memes about it, like, oh, we don't talk to women. We're too scared of that. But genuinely, I know for a lot of guys, including myself, talking to women feels like a feat of massive magnitude. It feels like potential death, right? And that's okay. But to understand the philosophy behind the game of life is to finally conquer your fear of women, which will ultimately allow you to use this advice and have the kind of relationships that you so desperately want in your life, to find and meet a beautiful, loving, and just gorgeous woman that you could potentially spend the rest of your life with. Sound good? If you too subscribe to the philosophy, which is the game of life, that life is this big, beautiful game that is meant to be explored and challenged and enjoyed to the max, right? If you believe this is true, then you absolutely should approach every beautiful woman that you find attractive and that you see out in public. Because the truth is, you may never see her again, and she may never become a character in your game of life. And that's not something you want, obviously. Because the truth is, bro, this woman could very well be the absolute love of your life, or your next great love of your life. But how will you know that if you don't approach her and say, hi? It's not going to happen. Another great way to remember this truth is the Stoic saying, which is memento mori, which very grimly translates to, remember, someday you will die. It's inevitable. And for a second, I want you to close your eyes and do this little visualization with me. And it's tremendously powerful. But I want you to close your eyes and think about old you, right? 90-year-old you lying in a hospital bed or in your bed at home, and you're sickly, your life has passed you by, you're all gray and kind of ugly now, no offense, bro. But like, let's say your life has gone by, you're about to die. It's the end of your life, but you're sitting there looking back on the events of your life. Think back on this dying self and ask yourself the simple question: would I regret not approaching more beautiful women at the end of my life? Would I regret having the balls and the bravery and the confidence to man up, go for what I truly want in life, and give a woman, a beautiful woman, the gift of getting to meet and potentially spend her life with a man like me? Let me be real with you for a second, brother. What do you have to lose by approaching a girl you find attractive? Really and genuinely think about this question. Don't just answer, she'll throw a drink in my face, or she'll tell me I'm ugly, or no, genuinely ask yourself, what is it really that threatens your livelihood and your safety by simply going up to a pretty girl and saying, hi, I am Niall, how are you? And this is naturally assuming that you aren't a degenerate creep that's gonna approach her and say, hey, sugar tits, how you doing today? You wanna come back to my place? Naturally, this is assuming you aren't totally socially inept and that you're a normalish kind of guy, right? If you watch me, you're probably not normal, but you're not a creep either. The very worst situation, the very baddest thing that could happen to you is she tells you to go away, right? She says, I don't want to talk to you, leave me alone. That is the worst thing that could potentially happen from a failed attempt, right? And yes, even though that may sting a little bit, you may think to yourself, that didn't feel so good, but did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
Did you walk away with your manhood completely chopped off and on the floor? No. If anything, you showed yourself that you are a man of confidence, that you are a man that is resilient enough to approach, to put yourself out there first. And even though you got rejected, you left alive and stronger and more resilient than you were before. And here's the even bigger question. But what if, right? What if, amazingly, this girl actually wants to talk to you? What if this girl is sweet and flirty and maybe even shows you signs of being interested? What if you leave with this girl's number? What if you end up dating this girl? What if you end up married and having beautiful kids and having a partner to support you and love you for the rest of your life? It's so beautiful, bro. Genuinely, what if that happened? Not worth it? Not worth a little bit of a sting? A little bit of a little uncomfortable rejection possibility? Are you crazy? It's totally worth it. In business, we simply call this a very high ROI strategy, or in other words, a very high return on investment activity, right? The risk that it takes to get the massive reward is very small because the risk that you are taking in return for the reward is very out of proportion, right? The risk is this small and the reward or potential reward is this high. And these are the best flippin' things or best opportunities to take when you are in business. So why the hell are you not taking this opportunity when it comes to your dating life? Don't be ashamed if a girl rejects you or doesn't want to talk to you or things don't go the way you planned, right? It's totally normal, and 99% of the time, it honestly has nothing to do with you. You can't change the preferences of this girl, what she likes, what she doesn't like. You can't change the fact that this girl may have been dumped this morning, that she may have had a very big fight with her parents. You don't know this stuff. So remember that when you go into the situation, on top of the fact that one day you may die. Remember that you are very much not in control of the response you get from this girl, but you are very in control of your bravery, your courage, and your balls to get up and actually approach her. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. You need to be absolutely present in the moment with that girl. You need to be breathing deeply, confident, relaxed. Because if you're in your head the way I was, thinking 3 steps ahead, not only will you embarrass yourself when you don't listen to what this girl is saying, but you will not feel confident, grounded, the best version of yourself, which will naturally hurt your chances of getting a date with this girl. This is not to say that having a go-to line is not helpful, and I am going to share a go-to line with you today. And feel free to tailor it and change it to what works for you, but it's okay to have an initial statement to say, because this initial statement gives you that kind of reassurance that you're not going to go up to her and say, hey, weather's nice, drink, I'm going to leave now, bye. You're not going to like mumble your words and completely freak out because you don't feel somewhat prepared. So it's okay to have a line. What's not okay is to be like me and have the entire conversation mapped out beforehand, because the conversation could swing left, it could swing right. It could be very pleasant, it could be very dark when you start. It's going to change. So do not plan the entire conversation, but it is fine to have a particular line. And I'm going to share not only this line with you that I use now, but the strategy that I use going forward with the interaction. So here's what you do, bro. You see a girl you like. You see a girl that knocks your socks off. You think she's so attractive. And you simply remind yourself of the philosophy of the game of life. Whether that's by saying quickly to yourself, just under your breath, memento mori, one day I'm going to die, or saying to yourself, this life is a game, I need to live it to the fullest, whatever works. Just remember very quickly the philosophy that we have discussed, which will just remind you of why it is so important to approach this goal. Don't spend too long here, because the more you get in your head, like I did earlier, the more you will psych yourself out of the interaction. So just quickly, for that little confidence boost, remind yourself, this is a game of life, I gotta go for it. As soon as that philosophy has clicked for you, as soon as those words of memento mori leave your mouth, without a single thought, you order your feet to walk towards that girl right now. You don't wait for the perfect moments. You don't wait until she's not talking to a friend of hers. Naturally, if you see her with her boyfriend, bro, or you see her with her father, or in a situation that clearly does not warrant an approach, you'll see it. But 99% of the time, you bullshit yourself. And you have to be honest with yourself here, because we all do it. But 99% of the time, you bullshit yourself out of the approach because it's not the perfect moment. Forget that. Order your feet to walk directly towards her and get your ass moving. As soon as your feet reach this girl, as soon as you have arrived at your destination, which is in front of this girl, another little pro tip, never approach from the back. It'll startle her. It'll make her think, whoa, this guy's like been following me. Make sure that she can kind of see you walking towards her so that she can kind of mentally prepare for the conversation you're about to have. It just goes a lot smoother when you're not jump scaring the potential future mother of your children. Just take my advice for it. As soon as you reach her, you smile with the most authentic smile you can muster. You say, hi, how are you doing? This right here could be the only line you need. Genuinely, I watched a Jack Harlow video that I actually discussed, I think a year or two ago in a previous video, where Jack Harlow says that his most famous pickup line is, hi, I'm Jack, right? But you don't have to even introduce yourself. If you just walk up to this girl and say, hi, how are you? You've won. You've approached her. Whatever happens from this moment on is a win. You can leave, and you've made progress at developing your social skills and your confidence around women. Congratulations, bro. But you might want to take this a little bit further. Maybe you don't really know how to kind of go about this or what to say after that. And I would honestly highly encourage you to just kind of go with the flow. Say whatever comes to mind, even if it's stupid. This is how you learn how to talk on the spot. It's an incredibly valuable skill. But let's say you aren't really at that point yet and you want to say something that might kind of sway her towards maybe giving her number away, or, kind of walking away thinking, wow, that was a really different guy. You don't want to be like the rest of these Tom, Dick, and Harrys that just hits her with the cheesy line, makes her feel kind of gross and approached and used, but might actually set you apart from other dudes, right? I'll give you a little bit of game that relates to the philosophy we discussed a little bit earlier about life being a game. You could say something along the lines of this. I know this may sound weird, and honestly, I don't do this very often, but lately I've been thinking about how life is short and I need to live every moment to the absolute fullest. And for me right now, living to the fullest means talking to the prettiest girl at this mall. You're in, bro. Like, that line for me, as cheesy as it may sound, and if it does sound too cheesy for you, don't use it, right? But for me, the power of this line is, it's many things, right? There are so many things we could unpack about this line. But just for a few of the key kind of moments of this, very profound and very powerful line, you started with, I know this may sound weird, and I don't usually do this, right? That tells this girl that you aren't just this weird pickup artist creep that walks around the mall and talks to every girl. Even if that's true, right? You don't want her to think this. So by saying that you don't usually do this, and it may be a little bit weird, you firstly show humility, you show authenticity, that you are a little bit nervous about this, and it shows that this is a one-time thing for you, that she must be special if you are about to approach this girl. So already you're doing a good thing. Secondly, by discussing your philosophy, or our philosophy, about how life is short and you really want to take it by the horns and live it to the fullest, you subconsciously demonstrate your values, right? And if you don't know this, I believe that a relationship is never really based on attraction, right? It's important, but it's never based on initial attraction or butterflies, all the nice little things, the gifts, the roses, right? As you saw on Valentine's Day, it's very largely based on shared values, shared beliefs, and shared character. And what better way to show your character than by telling her a life philosophy of yours? This also separates you from other guys, whereas other guys are cheesy and you're so beautiful, I want to take you out, like, and I mean, we did use the word beautiful, but notice how we used it only after the philosophy, right? You show her that you're not like every other guy, that you have some moral character and that you have something that you believe in and stand for. You have values to live by. And that's exactly what you are doing right now. You are not a man of thought. You are a man of action because you are sharing your value with her or what you believe in. And clearly you're taking action on that value by talking to her. And then naturally at the end of the line, you hit her with, because I believe that life is short and I need to live every experience to the fullest, that for me right now means talking to the prettiest girl here. This clarifies your intention because a lot of the guys out there watching this video right now, you may run the risk of getting friend zoned. Very highly unlikely because if you're approaching a girl out in public, she probably gets the message. But this just kind of shows that you have balls and that you know what you want, which is the prettiest girl here right now, and you're going for what you want. So there's no doubt in this girl's mind of whether or not you want to be friends, whether or not you want to sell her something, because this happens, right? Girls get sold to, guys get sold to. She doesn't know what your intentions are. But by telling her that you're the prettiest girl here and I wanted to talk to you, she knows what you're about. And even if she doesn't get your number, trust me, bro, this is going to be playing in her head for the next week, possibly for the next month, possibly forever. She's always going to think about the guy who firstly approached her with such a different charm about him, such a different, mentality. She's always going to wonder about the guy that lived life to the fullest, that enacted on his values. And honestly, bro, she's probably going to think about how much she regrets not giving her number to you. This is a game, bro. I wasn't lying to you when I told you that this is some game, bro. So please, if you find any value from this video, show me your appreciation. Like the video, share it with a bro who needs it. Subscribe to the channel. I've got so much more where that came from. But yo, bro, I told you this is game, bro. This is game on game on game. But the nice thing about this is that it's not game, as you may have seen, right? We laugh and say this is Riz, and it kind of is. But I like this approach because for me, I value authenticity. I value realness. And I never wanted to be the guy that just hit up every girl with, are you sexy or you pretty? And, learn these creepy, these guys online, these weird pickup artists that tell you to analyze her eye contact and, kind of hit her with the reverse take or all this bullshit, bro. Like, I don't want to live a life where my relationships are fake and I have to be fake in order to get a date. I never wanted that. I've always wanted to approach women and everybody in my life, for the matter of fact, as authentically and as honestly as I could. And honestly, I believe that this way of doing it highlights pretty much all of the values that I would like to hold when it comes to my dating life. And hopefully you share those same values with me. This is not just the advice to say this will work on every girl and you should get a date with every girl. This advice, in a weird way, is designed to fail in certain situations. Because if a girl does not share the same philosophy of the fact that life is short and you got to live every day to the fullest and you should be brave and go for what you want, if she doesn't share this philosophy or respect your philosophy, it's not a girl you want to be with, bro. And so the beauty of this method is that it actually pre-qualifies this girl and allows you to see whether or not this girl is somebody worthy of your time. Because honestly, bro, the sexiest thing, as you've heard many times before, is true confidence. Whew, right, that's enough game for you today. You should be very grateful for possibly the best pickup advice you've ever gotten, but I'm going to leave you with a quote, and that quote is, life is to be experienced. It's not to be solved. Gents, stop trying to solve women. You won't. You just won't. Stop trying to solve your dating problems. Just go out there and experience it. Experience the success, experience the rejection, experience it all. It's a beautiful process. It's hard, it's anxious, it's scary, it's beautiful, it's loving, it's all these things. But you want to get in the game, bro. Get in the game, get out there. Remember, life is short. And enjoy every aspect of life. Don't just worry about all the other things we discuss on this channel with regards to improvement and focus and ambition. That's good and well. But your relationships are incredibly important too. Don't waste your life not investing into high quality people, especially a high quality woman, because she could be the difference between tremendous success and tremendous failure. So get out there, you sexy beast, and let me know in the comments about your success and your failure stories. Share with the bros down below about what you've learned from this whole process. Give some advice to a brother out there that needs it, and enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Catch you later.